Hello, everyone. My name is JT Styles. I got a guest. I want her to introduce herself. So introduce yourself, Sophia.
Hi, I'm Sophia Annunziato, and I am your Missouri Miss Amazing 2021 Miss Queen representative. And my platform is peer support for all types of disabilities. Sure, you've heard of it for like mental health issues, but why not all disabilities, right?
Right. What do that mean? Could you explain to
We
the audience?
basically provide support for all disabilities, whether we're going through good or bad times. And I began this project on March 13th, 2020, after COVID hit and the lockdowns began. But it doesn't mean our support network should be at all.
I decided to expand that further to all types of disabilities: physical, mental, developmental, behavioral, cognitive, global disabilities. So all types of disabilities, including parents and guardians and caregivers of disabled and or elderly individuals, would get the care that they need, especially throughout the pandemic, by keeping a social connection going during the pandemic and even after the pandemic settles down.
What we did was we basically entertained each other with singing, trivias, dancing, poetry, even reading a book. We also play games. We do provide resources such as PPE or independent living, even food banks for those who are struggling, because a lot of people with disabilities are the most marginalized people in society, and we have a harder time accessing the resources ever since COVID hit. And there's been a shortage of workers and resources altogether.
Yeah, and I think this is important for people to know, because a lot of people don't know a lot of things, because it's important to get it out there, what we're trying to do and support each other.
Yes, exactly.
Very important.
Yes.
So
some people cannot leave their homes because of health issues and disabilities, prevent them from doing so, especially as those who cannot work because of their health and disabilities. Yeah. So it makes it that much difficult for them and more inaccessible.
But what are you doing now?
I'm basically still running the groups, and another part of them is the daily check-ins. We want to make sure everybody's okay and all good and stuff. And they're allowed to talk to us, me and my friend who runs the group.
What kind of games do they got? Do they have any favorites that
we've done bingo, we've done all sorts of trivias. We even had holiday cards being sent to one another, and birthday cards, even get well cards for those going through good or bad times. I forgot to mention.
See, basically what we're trying to do is, fans, we're trying to get more information about people with disabilities, so y'all can know that so they can
there
know
for each other.
Well, so we can be there for each other, so they can know that we're on top of it and we're supporting each other. And what I wanted to have this show on for, because I wanted to show a person like Sophia that we are supporting each other and we are as one. So, and if we get more people like that,
we're gonna boost each other's spirits up, no matter how bad the times could be, basically. So they don't have to, because we're isolated, quarantined, and all. Doesn't mean you have to feel alone all the time. Doesn't mean that your social connection should be, even if you are socially distancing and not seeing your friends in person and seeing them virtually. And we check up on them if they've been having a rough time.
I even continued my platform while I was hospitalized last July with COVID-19. While I was quarantined alone in the hospital room, not allowed to have a single visitor because it was too risky to have a visitor around me and other COVID patients. I basically was able to keep my platform going and receive peer support from other people myself. I do have a lot of friends with disabilities, and we still reach out to one another. through my Facebook groups that I run ever since the beginning. I started 2 national groups last year. One was for Miss Amazing. Another one was outside Miss Amazing. It's for people nationwide with disabilities, including parents, guardians, and caregivers, friends of people who are elderly and or disabled. We often provide resources, like for those who need heat or AC, and independent living programs that are willing to help people during COVID, and even PPE, which means personal protective equipment such as masks and gloves and face shields, because some people do have a harder time accessing the needs for them to be met. I even have a Missouri group for Missourians like me, so they can reach out if they need any support, whether the times are good or bad.
Is there anything else you want my viewers to know about you?
I live in St. Louis, and I myself have disabilities. I have autism. Basically, I am on the spectrum and classified as having Asperger's syndrome. And I can still do normal things, even if my routines were disrupted, even if I do have disabilities.
Could you tell us about the history of Miss Amazing and the general thing about it, so my viewers can know about it?
Oh, yes, gladly. I am part of an organization that is nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit organization called Miss Amazing Inc. And I am one of the state representatives, and I'm a Miss Queen for Missouri Miss Amazing this year. And this is my 3rd time reigning as queen. And I am helping represent girls and women 5 and older with disabilities in the system. And the system, it's totally free to do. And 10 to 35-year-olds, they do have 6 age groups that will get to be a state representative from each group. The first group is 10 to 12-year-olds, preteen, 13 to 15-year-old, junior teen, 16 to 19 is teen. Those are the first 3 groups. And then the last 3 groups is junior miss, which is 20 to 23 years. And then I'm in this group for the last year, 24 to 27-year-old. It's just called Miss by itself, Miss. And the last group is senior miss, 28 to 35, which will be my new group, senior miss. But there are 2 other groups that do get to participate in the activities, but they do not get to have a title though, because 5 to 9-year-olds, it's basically an introductory stage to Miss Amazing until they're old enough to become queen or state representatives.
Is all these for all people with disabilities?
Yes, this is a pageant for girls and women with disabilities. Oh, and the last group is 36 and up. They age out of the queen system, and the pressure of being a state representative is off their shoulders, and they're called shooting stars. And they do not get judged whatsoever, and neither do rising stars. 10 to 35-year-olds, they do get judged. And they have core categories. One is interview, teaching conversation and eye contact, any social skills that are needed throughout everyday life, especially for a job. And then we even have introduction, and they get to wear evening wear, which is really fun. You don't even have to look like $1 million. Just wear your favorite evening wear that makes you feel good about yourself and confident. You will gain public speaking skills whatsoever. And then we have something called passion presentation, which is known as talent, but we call it passion presentation. And you get to show your talent, like singing, dancing, poetry, or anything like that. And each girl gets 90 seconds or less to do their passion presentation, what they're most passionate about.
What I like to say after that wonderful thing is the lady that runs the pageant, I don't know her name, but I'm glad that she came. I'm glad she came up with this for people with disabilities. And I hope it go far for her and the ladies. And you're doing a good job picking Sophia and all the people that you picked. And I'm proud of each and every one of you.
Thanks. She started this whole pageant as she was inspired with a brother who was living with his own disabilities. And she's got pageant experience herself. She was only 13 when she started Miss Amazing in 2010 in a small town of Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, and I did want to thank her for, starting this. So is there anything else you want my viewers to know about you?
Basically, I just keep on fighting no matter good or bad. I always keep on fighting for what's right and for the rights for all people with disabilities, as girls and women with disabilities are the most marginalized people in society. Like, they're just put aside, and we're trying to do that
With a
everywhere.
With a platform like this, it seems like it's opening up more. Things are changing, so that's good.
Yeah, we're trying to head in a good direction.
And
And I also forgot to mention, we did have some entertainment in the groups. We played games such as trivias, we did virtual bingos, we even did costume contests and Christmas song contests and ugly Christmas sweater contests during the holidays. And we always did birthdays and holidays, especially for people who got a birthday or holiday coming or happening. And they also even do get well cards, because we had to do it for people who had some medical issues, such as COVID. So they wouldn't have to feel down and depressed during those horrible times. We're trying to help them pick themselves up over time.
And like I said, the people like Miss Amazing, these virtual things, like on Zoom, is really helping people that don't have no place to go to have an outlet.
True.
Help people that like you're not alone, because you got people that support you even though you're on your iPad and
Or phone.
Okay, could you tell my audience why this video is so important to you?
This video is very important to me because I want to get the word out there that your social connections don't have to be cut off completely just because your routines and activities have been disrupted by the pandemic and the lockdown and the quarantine, CDC guidelines, you name it. I basically like them to know that I'm still going at my platform and that peer support is for everyone, not just elderly and or disabled individuals, but everyone, because everybody needs peer support. Everyone everywhere needs peer support, and it's important to not put each other down and to build each other up through the good and the bad times.
So is there any way they can get in touch with you if they wanted to be part of your group or anything? Or
basically, I run 3 Facebook groups. There's Pandemic Peer Support for the Miss Amazing Sisters, and then we got Pandemic Peer Support national, and then a Missouri state that I'm running as well.
How many different states are people responding from?
Different states, I can promise that. I can't really give an exact number, but there are a lot of people. And I even continue my work as I myself have contracted COVID. I still continued as I was in the hospital quarantined, and I even got peer support to me as well as I was dealing with COVID, and I managed to survive it.
You're doing good. So you was talking about you go for Miss Amazing again for the, when we was talking about the hotel, and you said you wanted me to come with you.
I'm basically heading to nationals this summer in Nashville, Tennessee, and using my voice for peer support for all disabilities to represent all disabilities, not just one specific group like mental health. I just believe all disabilities should be included in peer support, not just one type, but all. even parents and caregivers, guardians, they need resources too, as they are going through the pandemic.
Is the peer support, is that just for women or for men too?
Two of my groups is just any type of person. Boy, girl, non-binary, transgender is okay. I support all types of people.
Okay.
Even though my Miss Amazing one is just for Miss Amazing queens and volunteers, buddies, and directors. But I was willing to make a Missouri state for everyone and then a national one for everyone around the country so they could receive resources and be in touch with one another and make new friends all together.
So is there anything else you want people to know?
Just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean that your social connections have to be cut off altogether. You can still be in touch virtually and through email, social media. You can write letters to each other, send cards and stuff, and care packages if you must.
What's the name of your group?
One of them is Pandemic Peer Support for the Miss Amazing Sisters, as I am part of the Miss Amazing system, which is a pageant for girls and women with any type of disability to help build social skills and confidence and improve on public speaking skills and interview and job skills.
Is there any place to go so they can know more about your organizations? If they want to be a part of it?
You can check out missamazing.org, and it's a really good website to check out if you want to know more about Miss Amazing altogether, both in your state and national.
Is that your Facebook or your website page?
You can check it out on my Facebook page and my personal profile, as I did post the event last night after I created it.
And one last thing, what can they do to support you pageant thing or support thing? What can they do?
Well, I am currently running a fundraising page to help make that happen, because I will be heading to National Miss Amazing to meet the 2020 and 2021 queens from other states, as well as my own, because we couldn't hold the nationals last year due to COVID-19 and the restrictions being so heavy. So okay. I basically have a fundraising page, and the link will be down below in the description. It's S as in snake, A as in apple, Q as in queen, 2021.funraise.org. Not fundraise, fundraise. It doesn't have the D in fundraise. And you can also click the three little bars at the right-hand corner and look for the word fundraisers. And then you can find my name, Sophia Annunziato. I have 6 letters in my name, so it's S-O-P as in princess, H-I-A, and Annunziato. You just got to think about the word enunciate, because it is Italian for enunciate. So A, N is in Nancy, N is in Nancy, U is an umbrella, N is in Nancy, Z is in zebra, I-A, T is in Tom, O, Annunziato. And you can donate directly to my page and also do it anonymously if you feel comfortable doing so. You can do that too.
Okay, thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Bye. This has been JT Stylefox. Thank you. Like and subscribe.